Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Well, it's Saturday, and I've thrown knives down the table. I've taken knives off the table, and now I've just got a complete and utter mixture. And I thought, why not? Let's talk customs. Mainly, it's going to be about custom knives, but this hobby takes you down roads that you never thought you were going to go down. And I've had the joy of, when I started off very basic, I didn't have excess cash. I'd have a bit more now, which is great, but I didn't have in the beginning. So I was just buying basic knives and thoroughly enjoying the hobby. You don't have to spend money to enjoy this hobby because I loved it. And it's the people. It really is. But as you get on a wee bit, you keep wanting to try. You hear people talking about these things like customs and some of the prices they quote are just outrageous, and you think, I am never going to pay that for a knife. Well, you do. If you stick around long enough, you do. Some people do, not all, but some people, like myself, I am too nosy. I'm too inquisitive. I want to find out what is the difference. Why am I going to pay somebody to make me a knife handmade and pay extra money? And the answer is because you can and you want to. And that's it. I mean, price limits are just crazy now. I don't even talk about it because it doesn't make any sense to me. But when I've had money, I've bought expensive knives. There you go. That's the end of it. But I'm going to talk about customs. And I have got most of my customs. Now, there's one person, actually, as you all know, Ashley Harrison. I have got a lot of his. But his customs are in a price range that I can afford to buy more of than most other customs. I've got a couple of high-end ones, but I've maybe got, taken away Ashley, I've maybe got 2, 3, 4, about 6, well, probably 7 or 8, good custom knives. Really, sort of over the £200 mark. But a lot of my custom knives are under £200. So it's sort of my way of showing you don't have to spend a whole lot. To buy a Spyderco now is £200. Do you know what I mean? That's not even a dear one. That's just an average sort of Spyderco or Benchmade or whatever. So if you collect, locking knives, you can pay that all day long for the average knives out there. Now, yes, the lower end of the market is actually booming at the minute, absolutely booming, and they're making fantastic knives. But those who stick around, you do tend to spend a bit more. But it's not only knives, and that's what I wanted to get at. You say, oh, I'm not going to spend customs, but like in my time, custom fidget spinners, when that was a thing, I've only got one left. But Treen, I love Treen. This is a handmade fella. I'm going to have to get his, I can't find his little card at the minute, but I'll have to get that. Look at this, handmade, just beautifully put. These is actually pieces put in to hold this together and glued in there. It's just beautiful. You have a little wooden hatch here, and it's just, I use it for putting my Paddy's potato peeler cards in. But it is exquisite, just exquisite. I love having that. This over here, custom, made by a lady I know is one of my subscribers in Germany. She is Netherlands, I think. She is amazing. And she does these at such a reasonable price. I mean, I just love this. I got this to copy, and then I realized I am nowhere near the standard, but I will be eventually one day. So, I mean, but that's lovely. You can buy it and I can enjoy it. It sits there every day and I'm just lovely. I love seeing it. Leather work. This is one from Griffin, one of my new leather suppliers, or he supplied me with a few and I bought another one off him. This is MJ Hoods. Absolutely stunning leather work. I love this new leather he got. It's just, it patinas so quickly and so well, although it's been carrying it an awful lot. Then I have one from just a subscriber who makes them for fun, who makes them for a hobby and gives them to people. He won't take any money for them. David Ravelin. Absolutely beautiful. Go and check him out now. He's David's just fantastic. This is a leather wallet. I've had so many different leather wallets, and I have about 3 or 4 that are really ones that I keep now. But this is my original one. This was from Das Offenmeer. I think it's now called Open Sea Leather. He was a servant sailor at the time when I bought this. And this is where this first started out, this sort of stitching he done. And it's, it's a one piece. This is the only bit of stitching in the whole thing. And it's just folded leather. I just think it is amazing. I still love it, and I've carried it for years. I was, carrying some other things for a while there now, but I'm back to this. It's just such a compact, slim wallet. David Ravelin, the boy who done the slips, also just started doing these. And the amount of hours work he puts into these. There's 3 different materials blended together, pinned. It's just absolutely stunning what he does. All different materials, different colours. And he's doing it for a hobby. And honestly, the man's fingers are literally wore down to the bone with what he has to do to make them up as good as he does, because he's a perfectionist. And I think if you're going to be a custom maker, and no matter what you're doing, you need to have that sort of perfectionist mentality. Customized pens. Although this is a tactile turn pen, but it's £100 pen. For goodness sake, when I came around, I wouldn't have paid that for a knife. I wouldn't even have thought of it. That's way out of my league. But I bought this in the second-hand market, and this is what I do an awful lot of. I buy on the second-hand market. You get reduction in price, brings them into affordability. This was very, very affordable. I got it for an amazing price. And I just adore this. Customs don't have to be coming from manufacturers and things like that. This one here came from one of my subs who made it up for me. That beautiful little button he has on there. It's like a coat of arms on it. But it's just beautiful. It's a little pry bar. It lies over by the side of me here, and I use it constantly when I need a pry bar. What else have I got? I've even got a customised, now this is just a Victorinox shield, but I've got a custom little rambler with PPP on it. I just adore this little thing. It is beautiful. And look at that little case. What a perfect little pairing put together. So that's it. There's another one. There's a Kardashian, one of my subs made for me. It's like a little razor. It really is. Just things like that just excite me. They really do excite me now. And I'm going to bring these down a wee bit so we can see them a bit clearer. These are basically all my high-end customs, but I've also thrown in some Ashley, we'll go through. Should we just go through? I mean, these are a variety of Ashleys, and I like to get things that I don't have a couple, 2 of the same in Ashleys, because they're Barlows, and I love Barlows, so I've got a couple of them. But the rest, I really mix and match and just get different knives from them. And this was the first custom I ever bought. I ever had anybody made for me. I give him the things that I wanted in it, and I said, I'll leave it to you, you make it. And this is what he came up with. This is just stunning. I've had this for a few years now. This was the first one, and it's a custom, and it's a user, because it's in the price range. All these, the British ones I'm going to show you, are all under £200. Do you know what I mean? The prices have gone up now from when I started, but I mean, they're under £200, and some of them by quite a bit. So don't be frightened. It just depends what you're getting. But this is just one of the most solid, just usable knives I have. It's just been, and it's O1 tool steel, which Ashley does in all his. It has a bare snap and a bare pull, which I love. I love that. It gives me solidity in a knife. When I'm holding it, I feel like, yes, I can do this. I mean, this one I got last year, and listen to that. The blade that people love to hate. It's just a stunning, stunning knife in ebony. It is absolutely beautiful. O1 tool steel again, but what a beautiful knife. I just love it. A big working knife. But he doesn't just do big at all. I mean, here is just an absolute beautiful knife. It's beautiful. Look at that file work. His dad done the chasing right up the center of the back spring. That is just, I'll bring it up closer. Look how beautiful that is. Delicate, yet just full of character. And this handmade, this abalone that Ashley puts in his is just outstanding. Now, one of my little pins, there's a wee crack on the plastic just there, very hard to see with this knife. But I use it, and I must have dropped it and cracked it or done something. I don't know. I use this knife. It is a beautiful, and it's like a bear pull. I just love that. I mean, there's going to come an age when I can't even open these bloody things, but for now, they're just lovely. I really do enjoy it. And that solidity gives me confidence to use the knife. That alone, that slap down could have probably cracked it. But it's a user. But it is still beautiful. If I didn't tell you it, you wouldn't pick it out. You just literally wouldn't pick it out if I didn't tell you. It is gorgeous. And then I got one. Here's from my newest custom maker. This is from Beth, Ashley's Apprentice over at Arthur Wright Knives. You can see her little beautiful little signature she's got on it. And this is one of the first knives she made and sold. And I just love this little knife. This was her favourite pattern. It wasn't mine. But since I've had this, I've got about 4 of these blooming blades now that I seem to be becoming addicted to. I don't particularly like a sway back, but this is lovely in either grip. But in this grip, it's just an absolute beast. A potato peeler extraordinaire, I tell you. I tell you so. And she has got that Arthur Wright snap in it. I love it. Great fit and finish. And I just was really chuffed to get that. And she's making me a Barlow with big bolsters. Yay. So I'm really looking forward to that. But other custom makers, and I'm gonna say this because I think we are spoilt here in the UK. Even if you're out of the UK, the price that some of the custom makers charge here for knives is way below America. You know, I'm just using America as a company. I don't know what other, European companies, but you could just based on American custom knife makers that I see their prices off. The UK custom makers, now a lot of them are making very traditional. You're not going to get high-end steels, but there is ones that do high-end steels as well. But, a proper handmade custom like they used to be made, virtually. There's all things modern in life, but these are probably the most in the world. Some of these companies make knives for the most traditional knife companies in the world. And that's your Arthur Wrights, your Taylor's Eyewitness, Joseph Rogers. You can get them over here. This is Stephen Cocker, who would make your Joseph Rogers and other knives from the Eddington Group. This, I keep showing this because it's just beautiful. This is actually wood that has been dyed green, and then he does his own jigging, which is just phenomenal. Look at that jigging. Beautiful little knife. Good strong spring on this one. And I'd asked him to have a good strong spring on it. I don't think he maybe normally does them that strong. But it's just a tidy, slim little Barlow to put in your pocket. You bring it out. It's not going to upset anybody. It's just, a basic boy's knife. It's that size. Listen to the snap. Little bit off centre, but it's not even something. No. It's actually not. Let's do him a favour. That's right up the blooming centre. So hard when you're looking through here to get them exact. Taylor's Eyewitness. This is made by Lee White. He's a one-man machine, Lee White is. He makes the blades for them. Beautiful high polish. These are not. This is much easier to open than the other ones. Nice, fat British blade. I just love that shape. Really beautiful. I love the bolsters in Taylor's Eyewitness, some of the most attractive around. I love the fact that they do it on both sides as well. They stamp it, not etched, stamped, and I just adore that. Again, the file work on the back of this one is beautiful. These last two, I don't really use that much. I have used them, and I've carried this one quite a lot over the years. This is this is in desert ironwood, and my lighting will never show you just how good this is and how deep this ironwood is. It's just beautiful. And again, this first lot that I've shown you are all under £200. And some of them are, just over the 100 maybe now. I mean, I don't keep up with the prices, to be honest. But they are from 100 to 200. You're going to pick yourself up an absolutely amazing handmade knife. That blows my head away. And here's another one, actually, I just got this year. It's a fella from Canada. Go back and look at these. This is the Academic, made by Joe Lapierre. They were on sale from Frank at Fraymore Knives. Please go and check Frank out. There's more coming in with the micarta scales, which was the most popular. I think there might be one, maybe two of the carbon fibre, and it's a different cut of carbon fibre. It's beautiful, looking, very rich. But this is a friction folder that you can tighten and adjust how strong you want it. I've got this very stiff because I like to use it, and I don't want it flopping about. So it takes a bit to break this. It's beautiful. This nubbins here, and I think these were about $179 for a custom made 20 CV. And then just look at that blade. Just look at that. I mean, if you get over it, check Frank. I haven't even checked, to be honest with you. Check if he has, and he's going to be sending over this time, I believe. Well, this time or very shortly after it. Micarta scales that you can buy and change out. These are just so simple. It's all machined on it's all milled. So are these, and you can just change the scales easily. This is a changed set of scales that I own. I don't know whether he's going to have any of this particular one, but I just love this. This is the rough micarta, and it makes this such a beautiful knife. And when it's in there, there's no chance of it coming out in your pocket. I don't even put this in a slip. Just shove it in my pocket. And I love carrying this knife. It takes a bit to break it, but and it's firm. I don't do any tricks with this knife. I just open it. Whichever way comes to me that's the safest, you just open it. But when your finger's there, you'll not close that blade. I mean, something will have to fall on you from a great height to knock that, to put that blade into you. One of the safest slip joint knives you can get. Or not a slip joint, but a non-locking knife. I just love this. And again, under £200, custom made. Different type of custom. The first one you've all seen are handmade. This is done on a CNC machine by one man, and he does all the finishing himself. The machines only do certain things. You still have to finish them, and you still have to design. And this is his own design that took him years to come up where he's actually happy with it. So just super. So let's get on. From here on now, well, it's not. There's an Ashley. I got this Ashley again under £200. Look at that back spring. It's completely different again. It looks bejeweled. I just adore this. It's all done by hand. And if you go onto Ashley's website, you'll see he puts wee clips up of him doing back springs. Oh my goodness! It's just he does it like it's you look at it and you think, well, I could do that. It looks so simple, but by God, his touch in his hand with little files. And that's what they come up with, is just amazing. He done this one, I'd asked for this especially with a longer bolster. And it doesn't bother me, the smaller bolster. When I want something on the bolster itself, I like it a bit deeper. Because then, there's room, it doesn't look crowded. And this just looks, it's one of the handsomest knives I've got. I can't tell you how much I love this knife. Top off the tree for me. Because I know the maker, and you do get to know your custom maker when you're buying knives off, and especially if you're a repeat customer, you'll get to know them, and that makes it all the more personal. But again, this is a lovely, I'm a Barlow man. You'll see a lot of my knives are Barlows. That just opens up with such authority. Beautiful, deep blade. I adore it. Absolutely, this is one of the most comfortable, just usable knives. Do I use it? Yes, but to be honest with you, I use this one lightly. I use so many of his knives. I mean, like this boy. I mean, these are all used knives. They're marked, they're scuffed, they're used for everyday use. Beautiful. So the next lot that I'm going to show you, I think I'm right saying, these are all custom makers from different places around the world. This is an American custom maker, J.H. Lloyd, I believe is his name. And I bought this because of that. It's a bear. And I'll bring this up as close as I can show it to you. Just look at the fit and finish of that little bear. Never mind anything else on the knife, which is just beautiful. This is the same size. It looks small, but it's the same size as a GEC boy's knife. So you've got a good proper knife that will do. This does me as an EDC knife. Lovely long clip. Beautiful sort of slim trapper type clip, but the swedge on it is beautiful. The grind lines are just perfection. It takes a wicked little edge. I can't even remember what this was. Can't even remember. Because blade steels do, I mean, I say it to people all the time. When I'm buying a knife and I look at it and say, oh yeah, it's a nice blade steel like that. I don't know what this is. I've forgotten. I've had it wrong. I'm sure there's a wee card in there that'll tell me if I need to know, but you just sharpen it when it gets blunt. It's just the joy of being a sharpener. But this is just a beautiful, the fit and finish on it is gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Again, ebony on this one if I'm right. But beautiful. Beautiful knife. £200. So there you go. This is a £200 knife. That's what I paid for it. Now it was second hand. Happily pay that all day long for it because it's beautiful, a handmade by a single person, but the workmanship in just that alone is unbelievably just. You need to put it under a microscope to find any gaps around there, because by the naked eye I can't see any. Mind you, I'm half blind. And here's another beautiful knife. I love this. This is my little snub nose 45. Oh, listen to that. Oh, I just love makers that make, you know, a good strong spring. This is a South African maker. This is Michael Duplessis, yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Michael's now living in the UK and making knives in the UK. He has his workshop up and running. This is just, look at the style in that. Is that not just, and it's micarta and G10. You've got a lovely, like what I would call a bird's eye pivot, but it's just I just love it. It looks very basic, but you see when you put this knife in your hand, that lovely bulbous bolt, you know, end of the knife here just sinks into your palm, and you could work all day with this and feel no pain. It is a beautiful knife, and again, that beautiful. Oh, God, that excites me. That really excites me. I had when this came, there was a little bit of blade wrap. Well, I'm sure you're saying that's not surprising, but I have to say I took it out, and it was one of my best sharpenings I'd done, because I sharpened freehand, and I'd done this freehand, and it came out beautiful. And now I can slap it down. I keep meaning not to do it, but I just wanted to show. I mean, sometimes don't panic too much with blade wrap. I know it shouldn't happen, but sometimes it does. Just learn how to sharpen, and that came out. That just pleased me even more now that I've added my little bit to it. I was able to take something out, and it's now my knife, and I know it's perfect. This is one of my newest ones, and this is another UK maker. This one is Xing Chan. We just had him on our podcast. Probably my favourite podcast that me and Justin have done. What a gentleman. What an absolute scholar. He's been making knives for about 15 years professionally. And the variety of knives this man makes. And he'll make anything you want. Well, as long as he likes it. As long as he thinks it will work, he will make it for you. But he's one of those people, you can talk to him, he'll make anything. His prices are exceptionally reasonable for the standard you're getting. Look at this bone. Like he explains it on the podcast. I couldn't even tell you. It's some of the materials he uses to dye the bone. But I have never seen anybody to get that level. Look, it's all the same, even round the sides. It is so beautiful. And then you get the heavier dye in the grooves. And he does all the jigging himself. And that's the things with a custom. I keep saying, when you get both sides that they look the same, they're different, completely different, just done by hand, freehand. That is just outstanding work. Backspring, the usual things, not a single gap in it. And then the most beautiful little clip, or it's even a drop point nearly, but you can call it a clip. Probably better being called a clip, but I think it's more of a little drop point. It's nearly exactly the same as a shape as a case mini sawbuster. When you put them together, you can barely tell them. But let me tell you, you can tell the difference in the class in it. And it's got Magnacut steel in it. So he's not afraid to use, a lot of the custom makers use the old tried and true tested. He's not afraid. He'll put whatever steel he can get for you that you ask him for on the day. This is Magnacut. Absolutely stunning. Just a little working machine. I carry and use this constantly since I got it. Constantly. I love it. There's a hand rub satin finish on this as well too, which is just, let me just show you. Look at that hand rub satin finish. Look how it is amazing. And if you go to the podcast and watch it, he tells you how he perfected this for himself. I just, honestly, it is ingenious. But yet, when you hear it, you think, yeah, why not? Just ingenious. And he has perfected it and used it, because I'm sure it's not simple. But about £270, give or take. Just rough prices, I'm going to give you for them. For a handmade custom knife with Magnacut in it. Come on. It's just, that's worth saving for if you can. Now, look, if you can't afford this price range, I'm not doing this to rub it in your face. I mean, I've showed you, like, there's some down here that are, 150, 140 you could save up for if you can. Some people don't even want to, and that's absolutely fine. We all collect each other. We all collect different ways. But these are my things and where I've got to, and it's taken me years to get here. A lot of these custom knives are only in the last couple of years. So, and I had to sell off most of my collection to buy them. This is another one I recently bought. Absolutely stunning. Stunning. And none of these are gifts or from people. I might have got a few Ashleys at really good prices, actually. Shouldn't say decent, really good prices. Listen to that. This is one of my favourite. This is one of my favourite carry knives and use knives. And this is a hand satin, and I'm not going to bring this one up. It's beautifully hand satined. This is Dean Robertson, and this is the Dino pattern, or Dino, whichever way they pronounce. Beautiful hand finish, but I'm not going to take you up close because it's full of scratches when you get up there, because there we are up at the tip there. Can you see them? There's scratches all over. I use this and carry this more than most. I just think in the hand it's beautiful. Jigging. Oh, come on. I love wood. I love bone, but I love jigged bone. That is just sumptuous. This is what I call lickable stuff. This is just beautiful. Beautiful in the spring. Perfectly centered. No gaps, which you wouldn't expect to find at this price. This was a dearer one. Can't even remember what I paid for this. I might have traded for this one, but anyhow. And then we're on to the big boy. This is the one where this is going to be too dear for most people who even have the money that they want to pay. I traded in a very expensive knife to get this, and I took a bath on the very expensive knife, but it was one that I was given to the channel, and I traded it for this because it came up and I thought I might never get one. This is a Brazilian custom maker, Romano. Again, that beautiful hand finish. This by far has the most sumptuous hand finish on it. It is just a stunning knife. Beautiful and thin behind the edge. Beautiful swedge. I love swedges, but look at that nail nick that's just tucked underneath there. You would barely notice it. It's just beautiful. This has got the fit and finish of just a master craftsman. It is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I adore it. Very expensive. Let me put it like that. Very expensive. Oh. To buy one of his knives is about, you're averaging over the 1,200. That would be as for his cheap ones. I think this one, when it first came out, was about £1,400. Now, I managed to get it at about £500 less than that, buying it second hand. But I don't regret it for a second. I adore it. I just think it is amazing. Beautiful big trapper. Just a handful of knife. I have a large hand, but this is a beautiful hand filling knife. I adore it. So, never say never in this game, because you start off with whatever budget you're at, and inevitably it goes up if you stick around, because you just become too inquisitive. It's not even greed or what, it's inquisitive. Well, what am I going to get if I spend that extra? To me, all these around that, even got the £200 and down, and the sort of even these ones up to 300 and, maybe a bit more. They're very attainable for a lot of people. And when you get them, is there a difference? If you've got a good maker. If you don't have a good maker, then they're not going to be worth the money or the investment in time you're putting in to get one. This sort of price, you can't justify this. I can't justify the price that this is. Can't justify it. But what I can say, I am incredibly happy to have it in my collection. Westinghouse micarta. It's just, everything about it is just top notch. So there we go. So customs, yeah. And when you come into this hobby and you stay around a while, you'll get custom everything offered to you. You'll get it put in front of your nose by people. And it's just something that just gets a hold of you. And it's definitely got a hold of me now, because I'm buying more and more customs. But again, most of my customs is in the price range that I'm comfortable with, which is under £200. And they're out there. You just have to find them. So even if you're in America, I know it's a larger country. You've got more people wanting. The custom makers are sold. Their books are up to. Find some that's in your price range that you're willing to save up and get, and make sure when you get them. I mean, if it's something you're going to love, and I love all of these. I've never had a bad one off actually that I thought, oh God, I wish I hadn't have bought that. Do you know what I mean? But I have had from some others. And then you don't buy them anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's dead simple. But as long as they're in that price range, you're not taking too much of a bath. You can either sell them on at a bit of a loss and count your blessings, because that's what you do. Sometimes that happens. But that happens in everything in life. Do you know what I mean? But I've been really lucky with my custom makers that I've had knives that are just delicious. Now, I've had some other ones, and they're gone now from the collection. Either they just didn't fit me when I got them, because when you see something, unless you physically have it in hand, you don't know what you're going to feel like when you get it in hand. When I got this in hand, I melted. And I thought, that's staying. I don't know how long it'll stay for, but it'll stay. That some of these, I'll have them used so much that I'll be taking too big of a bath. They'll just stay forever, because they're just beautiful. There you go. A bit of a waffle. 32 minutes as normal. I've waffled on. I hope your tea hasn't got cold. Please, before you go out, hit the like button. Subscribe if you like this sort of nonsense. And give me a comment. All them things really help my channel out. I don't get any sponsorship anymore from YouTube. This is, I don't get anything at all from them. So them things help get my video out there and get people to see them. All right, you take care. Paddy's away for a wee cup of tea, because that one's blooming freezing now. All the very best. Bye-bye now.